Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my player ratings for Manchester United's 3-1 win against Burnley at Old Trafford. So I'll start with David De Gea. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. De Gea had very little to do in the game. Could have been in a better position for Aaron Lennon's goal. In the game against Newcastle on Monday night, De Gea made several key saves in the second half. De Gea has done really well so far this season. He's back to his best. He's planning to spend many more years at Manchester United. He's already been a long servant. This season is his 11th season at Man United. He has been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. He's got under 2 years left on his current contract and he receives £375,000 a week. He has won everything domestically at the football club and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. Revert back to last summer, he reclaimed the #1 spot back as he did decide to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks. And it did say he was determined to fight for his Man United future. When De Gea eventually leaves Man United, I think there's a very good chance he'll go back to Spain. Reasons is because he was born in Spain, his relatives are from Spain, his girlfriend's from Spain. De Gea also began his footballing career in Spain with Atletico Madrid, and back in 2015 he was very close to joining Real Madrid on deadline day, but due to a fax machine his move to Real Madrid didn't materialise. Now, moving on to Anwan Basaka, he's going to get a 6 out of 10. I thought he was solid defensively. He made a very important block at 0-0 and he made some good clearances, but Basaka lacked that attacking intent. It was Basaka's first appearance under Ralph Rangnick. Don't forget, not so long ago, Basaka got banned from driving for 6 months and he got fined £31,500. Manchester United got Basaka from Crystal Palace back in 2019 for around £50 million, and this season is his 3rd full season at Man United. Moving on to Eric Bailly, he's going to get a 6 out of 10. He was the culprit for Burnley's goal because he made a clumsy touch. I thought it was quiet in the game. I was actually surprised that Bailly played, but Bailly did come off injured in the game. Bailly doesn't get in the team much. He lost his place in the team a while ago, obviously with Manchester United signing Varane last summer. And obviously Lindelof has been preferred to Bailly. Obviously Lindelof's not available at the moment as he's out with COVID. There's a good chance that Bailly will leave Manchester United next year. He's injury prone, is Bailly, which is definitely a concern. Manchester United got Bailly from Villarreal back in 2016 for 30 million. Towards the end of last season, he signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. Moving on to Harry Maguire. He's going to get a 5 out of 10. He backed off and he left too much space for Aaron Lennon's goal. So he was partly to blame as well as Bailly for Aaron Lennon's goal. You know, Maguire is enduring a dreadful season. Maguire was also poor on Monday night against Newcastle. Revert back to earlier on in the season, Maguire had a calf injury. Towards the end of last season, he had ligament damage in his ankle. He certainly wasn't worth nowhere near the 80 million that Manchester United paid for him. I thought Maguire was far superior at Leicester than he has been at Man United. Moving on to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's going to get a 7 out of 10. Luke Shaw put a very good performance out. I think it was the first game he played since the 1-1 draw against Young Boys. Shaw yesterday night showed good attacking intent. He got into some good positions. He also created that early chance for Cristiano Ronaldo. It was a lovely ball to find Ronaldo. Luke Shaw also had a good chance of his own when he hit the side netting. You know, Luke Shaw's been poor in a lot of games this season. He's had a couple of injuries though this season as well. You know, last season Luke Shaw was absolutely superb. Shaw's got under 2 years left on his contract at Man United. He's been at the club for around 8 years, so he's been a very long-serving player. He doesn't appear to be our first choice left back under Rangnick. Tellez seems to be our first choice left back under Rangnick, but reflecting on that good performance from Luke Shaw yesterday night, there's probably a good chance he'll stay in the team for the game against Wolves on Monday. Moving on to Scott McTominay. He's going to get a 9 out of 10. McTominay scored Manchester United's first goal. It was a well-composed finish from the edge of the box. You know, that was McTominay's first goal for Man United since February and his 15th goal for Manchester United. McTominay also hit the woodwork in the game, so he could have had more than one goal. He also had a chance in the second half that produced a fingertip save from Wayne Hennessy. I still don't really rate McTominay despite his good performance. McTominay has been part of the club for a long time. And just after the first lockdown last year, McTominay signed a 5-year contract. So reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. Nemanja Matic, he's going to get a 6 out of 10. I thought he protected the defence well. I knew that Matic was going to start this game. I think there's a good chance that Matic will leave Manchester United next year. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he still seems to get his opportunities. Matic is the only predominant centre defensive midfielder that Man United have got. Manchester United got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017 for 40 million. Moving on to Mason Greenwood, he's going to get a 7 out of 10. Greenwood put a good performance out. Greenwood had a good chance in the game that produced a good save from Wayne Hennessy. Greenwood also looks very good on and off the ball. He made some good runs. Carved some openings. His work rate was good as well. He was far better than he was on Monday night against Newcastle. I've got to say though that Greenwood has done well since he recovered from COVID. Greenwood's been a revelation since he broke into our senior squad. He made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been part of the club for a long time, and last season Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract. Revert back to 2019, he said Manchester United offered Mason Greenwood a life-changing amount of money for him to leave. Earlier on this season, Greenwood did mention that he was upset that Ronaldo always starts. Moving on to Jaden Sancho, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Jaden Sancho pretty much scored. Sancho hit it, but it took a deflection off Ben Mee, so obviously the goal got put down as a Ben Mee own goal, but Sancho did very well to cut inside leading up to the goal. In the build-up to the goal, Matthew Lowton and McNeil got caught in a mix-up, so Burnley were very poor defensively for Man United's second goal. But Jaden Sancho, he hasn't done as well at Man United as a lot of Man United fans expected from him, but I do think he looks a better player than he did under Solskjaer. I think the best games Sancho's enjoyed at Man United was the games against Villarreal away and Chelsea away. Obviously Sancho scored in both of them games. Manchester United got Sancho in a deal worth 78 million with add-ons included. Manchester United paid around 73 million up front. He's got a contract with Man United until June 2026. There's an option of a further year. Sancho did enjoy 4 very good years at Borussia Dortmund before he signed for Man United. But Sancho, like I say, needs more time because it does take some players time to settle in. Edinson Cavani, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he led the line well. He weren't brilliant, Edinson Cavani, didn't really have that many chances, did he? I recall him having one chance in the game from very close range. It actually hit Wayne Hennessy in the face. Cavani rescued a point for Manchester United on Monday night against Newcastle. Obviously he came off the bench. Cavani will probably leave Manchester United next year. If he doesn't leave in January, he will leave in the summer. Earlier on this season, he said Cavani has agreed to join Barcelona on an 18-month contract. Obviously, Barcelona are seeing Cavani as a replacement for Aguero because not so long ago Aguero retired due to heart problems. There again, Barcelona have signed Ferran Torres from Man City. Juventus have also been in for Cavani, and earlier on this season he rejected a move to Boca Juniors. Cavani could possibly stay till the summer because Man United are reluctant to let Cavani leave on a free transfer in January. You know, Cavani's contract at Man United expires in the summer. Cavani come back from injury not so long ago. Manchester United got him on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. But I think, you know, Cavani and Ronaldo do complement each other well. You know, they played very well together in the 3-0 win against Tottenham earlier on this season. Cristiano Ronaldo, he's going to get a 7 out of 10. You know, Cristiano Ronaldo had a great chance in the 5th minute of the game. He was one-on-one with Wayne Hennessy, but he put it over the bar. You know, Ronaldo had numerous opportunities, so he'll be disappointed that he didn't get more than the one goal he scored. Obviously, Ronaldo's goal came from Mctominay's strike that hit the woodwork, then obviously it fell to Ronaldo and then Ronaldo tapped it in. You know, was Ronaldo offside? But anyway, Ronaldo now has 14 goals in all competitions since he re-signed. He's got 803 goals in his career. Ronaldo put a much better performance out yesterday night than he did against Newcastle on Monday night. In the game against Newcastle on Monday night, you know, Ronaldo hardly got any service. He didn't create one single chance against Newcastle. And he could have been sent off against Newcastle for that challenge on Ryan Fraser. He got a yellow card for that challenge on Ryan Fraser. Don't forget, prior to this game, Ronaldo said that he's got major concerns over Ralph Rangnick's methods at Manchester United. And revert back to Tuesday, Mundo Deportivo said that Ronaldo offered himself to Barcelona. But the rumours linking Ronaldo with Barcelona were fake. You know, George Mendes, his agents, even come out and said that Ronaldo's very happy at Manchester United. He's the best player in the world overall. He's won over 30 trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. He's got a contract with Man United until 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week. So he's the highest earner. He does wear the number 7 shirt. Manchester United got him for around 19.8 million. With add-ons included. Man United paid around 12.8 million up front. Substitutions got brought on in the game. Obviously we saw Raphael Varane come on to replace the injured Eric Bailly. I'll just give Varane 6 out of 10. I thought Varane would have started yesterday night, but surprisingly he didn't. You know, we started Bailly ahead of Varane. Varane obviously started on Monday night against Newcastle. I thought he was poor against Newcastle. Misplaced some passes and he was the culprit for Newcastle's goal because he gave away the possession in the build-up to the goal. But that game against Newcastle on Monday night was Varane's first appearance since the 2-2 draw against Atalanta. You know, Varane not so long ago was out with a hamstring injury. Varane had a groin injury earlier on this season. He was out with that groin injury for a few weeks. So Varane's endured 2 injuries since he signed for the club last summer. Diego Dalot came on. Just give him a 5 out of 10. And Fred also came on in the game. I'll give him a 5 out of 10. So that is your player ratings from Manchester United's 3-1 win against Burnley. By the way, Ralph Rangnick was impressed with 4 stars in the game against Burnley. And Rangnick said he was pleased with Manchester United in the first half. I think he mentioned that it's the best he's seen so far. Obviously, there was no Bruno Fernandes for Man United yesterday night because Bruno Fernandes was suspended. Fernandes picked up his 5th yellow card of the season in the draw against Newcastle on Monday night. Obviously, there was no Paul Pogba. He's still out with that muscle injury, but Pogba is very close to returning, which is good news from Man United perspective because he's been a big miss. There was no Lindelof, like I mentioned earlier on in the video, because he's got COVID, and Martial has got a minor injury, but he doesn't really get in the team anyway. Burnley, I thought they did alright in the game. You know, Burnley had chances of their own, especially in the early stages of the game. You know, Chris Wood had a couple of opportunities early on. You know, Chris Wood is probably the best player that Burnley have got. Burnley got Chris Wood from Leeds, and Chris Wood's been far superior at Burnley to how he was at Leeds. I thought Aaron Lennon, you know, he had a very good game for Burnley. Obviously scored their goal. But it wasn't only his goal why he put a good performance out. I thought Aaron Lennon made some good runs. He got into good positions and he closed down very well. I've always liked Aaron Lennon, like I mentioned on the match reaction. You know, Aaron Lennon is a former Everton, Tottenham and Leeds player. James Tarkowski, he had a couple of opportunities for Burnley as well. I do recall Benjamin Mee having a chance as well. Let me put into the equation that Burnley were missing some players. Obviously there was no Ashley Barnes because he's out with injury. There was missing Maxwell Cornet. He's also out with injury. Connor Roberts wasn't playing because he's out with COVID, and Burnley were missing their first choice goalkeeper Nick Pope because I think he's now got COVID. Burnley though are in serious trouble. They are in the relegation zone. There's a good chance that Burnley will go down this season. You know, Burnley's manager is Sean Dyche. He's been Burnley manager for almost 10 years, so he's been a very long-serving manager. He's got a contract with Burnley until 2025. Before Burnley, Sean Dyche had a spell at Watford. You know, Manchester United beat Burnley at Old Trafford last season 3-1. Manchester United won at Turf Moor last season 1-0. Burnley did win at Old Trafford back in January 2020, which is almost 2 years ago. They won 2-0. So yeah, it's good to win your final game of 2021. Manchester United's first game of 2022 is Wolves. The preview for the Wolves game will be coming up today at some point. As you all know, earlier on this week, there was rumours saying that, you know, Ralph Rangnick is already losing the dressing room at Manchester United, and he said the mood at Manchester United is very low. He said, you know, the Man United squad struggle with Ralph Rangnick's training change. Ralf Rangnick has been Manchester United's interim manager for like a month now. So far, he's unbeaten. Rangnick has managed 6 games so far in all competitions. He's won 4 and he's drawn 2. So you can say he's enjoyed a pretty good start to his managerial career at Man United. You know, if Rangnick does well as the interim manager, there is a chance that he'll get the Manchester United job on a permanent basis. You know, Rangnick is Man United's interim manager until the end of this season, and then it did mention that he will continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years. But there again, Rangnick got warned that he may lose the consultancy role if he fails to get Manchester United into the Champions League. You know, Rangnick has made changes at Manchester United. He's brought 3 additions in. Obviously, the other week, Manchester United announced the appointment of Ewan Sharp as an assistant coach and analyst. Earlier on in the season, Rangnick recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant, and he also recommended Saz Chalenzin as a sports psychologist. So there you go. And before Man United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Manchester United must back Rangnick in January. He said not so long ago that Rangnick's been given around £75 million to spend in January. There is a lot of players that Manchester United are linked with. Now, recently, there's been a lot of rumours coming out about Julian Alvarez from River Plate. It says Manchester United are ready to pay the £17 million release clause for Julian Alvarez. He says Julian Alvarez to Manchester United is close, and Manchester United have contacted the agent of Julian Alvarez. You know, Julian Alvarez has been at River Plate for a long time. He's been with them for a good 8.5 years now. He's out of contract at River Plate next year. He's only the age of 21, so very young, got a lot of development in him. He's mainly a forward, but he can also operate as a winner. So do you think Julian Alvarez could be the first signing of the Ralf Rangnick era? Yesterday there was rumours coming out about Ousmane Dembele, like I updated you on. You know, it said Ousmane Dembele has rejected a contract at Barcelona following a furious meeting with club bosses. So reflecting on that, Dembele is set to leave Barcelona. Manchester United have made contact with Ousmane Dembele's representatives. It said yesterday that Ousmane Dembele and his agent had reached an agreement in principle with Juventus, but then he said they hadn't. I don't want Ousmane Dembele at Manchester United because he's too injury prone. Ousmane Dembele is out of contract at Barcelona next year. Barcelona got Dembele back in 2017 from Borussia Dortmund. They got him in a deal worth £135 million with add-ons included. Barcelona paid around £96-97 million up front. As you all know, Ralf Rangnick wants Erling Haaland at Manchester United. A few weeks ago now, Rangnick spoke with Erling Haaland's father, Alf-Inge Haaland, over the possibility of his son making a move to Man United next year. It did mention as well that Man United are ready to trigger Erling Haaland's release clause, but Haaland's release clause doesn't become active until the summer. Haaland's release clause is in the £60-odd million range. There's other players as well Man United have been linked to. You know, Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice have been long-term targets for Man United. Man United have been linked to Boubacar Kamara from Marseille in recent weeks. Boubacar Kamara's contract talks with Marseille have stalled. A few weeks ago now, it actually said that Man United agreed terms on a $10 million deal to sign Boubacar Kamara, and it said Boubacar Kamara was set to become the first signing of the Rangnick era. Not so long ago, it said Man United were in for Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. Man United have been relentlessly linked with Amadou Haidara as well from RB Leipzig. We've also been linked to Rudiger from Chelsea and Frankie de Jong from Barcelona. So yeah, like I say, who do you think we're going to sign in January? I'm expecting Man United to enjoy a quiet January transfer window in terms of the incomings, because Romano's already said that Man United's main focus on new signings is the summer, not January. There'll be more outgoings in January than incomings. You know, the players that I think will leave Man United next year, Martial will leave in January. Not so long ago, Manchester United rejected a loan offer from Sevilla for Martial. The other week, it actually said Sevilla reached an agreement in principle to sign Martial, but prior to the Newcastle game, Ralph Rangnick confirmed that Martial wants to leave Manchester United, because the other week Martial held talks with Rangnick over his future, and earlier on this month Martial's agent confirmed that Martial wants to leave Manchester United. Cavani will probably leave next year, Mata will leave next year, Lingard, he'll leave in the summer, because it did say, didn't it, earlier on this season that Lingard will stay at Man United in January to fight for his place under Rangnick. I think we'll loan Amad Diallo out next year so he can get more opportunities. I think Man United will offload Matic next year. Pogba, if he leaves next year, leave in the summer, because as you all know, Man United are not negotiating a Paul Pogba transfer in January. Man United expect Pogba to stay in January despite him nearing the end of his contract. Jones and Baye, I think, will leave as well next year. And of course, you know the news on Dean Henderson. I initially thought Henderson was leaving in January, but Manchester Evening News recently said that Ralph Rangnick has told Dean Henderson he cannot leave Manchester United on loan in January. You know, Henderson is looking for regular playing time and he's not getting it at Manchester United. So anyway, guys, back on with more videos soon. By the way, as you all know, it's New Year's Eve today. I will be going out tonight. So anyway, take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.